And gosh willing, we're back. Are we back? Am I here? Am I alive? Please tell me I'm live. Oh boy. what a start to stream. So I had some problems getting started today. Partially just due to like my brain not running correctly. And then partially also due to my tech deciding to do exactly the thing that I didn't want it to do. But I'm present, and I'm so happy to be present. Hello. Hello, hello. We now go live to Twitch user Sammy Kelch. Hi, Samantha. Hello, Turnip. Welcome in, friends. Hello. No! Why is it... Well, now the camera's disconnected. Hold up. Bear with, everybody. Oh, jeez. You know, some days it really feels like why? Like, why am I doing this to myself, you know? And the answer is, mostly it's fun. Usually it's fun. And usually things work correctly. Come on. Come on, little darling. Connect. Please connect. Please, for the love of God, connect. I don't know why it decided to disconnect as soon as I decided to switch the camera on. I don't know. Okay, I think we might be back. We might be back. Let me see. Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Yay! You can see some stuff. The cutting mat is on the piss, but at least you can kind of see stuff, and that's frankly an improvement at this point. Things are going great. Things are fine. Everything's fine. This is what a beautiful Thursday is. Is everyone else having a good Thursday? How is everyone? Incidentally, Samantha, thank you again for the sub. I really appreciate it. That's incredibly kind of you, especially all things considered. Is it earned at this point? I don't know, but I very much appreciate your support. I really do. Having an interesting time today, but hi. I bring you paints. And I don't know, the contents of my weird brain, I guess. Yeah, I've had a really like mentally taxing couple of days. Like, I'm okay. Just I've had to think about a lot of things at fairly high level thoughts. Some of which were fun because I've been writing, and some of which were like just like static, just shoot me now. But at least some of them were fun. And also I am behind on making sure I have enough sketches for Hollow Knight Art Month. But today's word was mound, and so I wanted to do the crystallized mound because I've never done the crystallized mound, but I just wanted to, I wanted to have a nice moment with the snail shaman she's just being like a total Disney princess here, just singing a little happy tune with her friend, the horrible crystal mouse, who, I don't know, I guess maybe this one is docile, or maybe it just attacks like my player character because I suck. I don't know. Anyways, Samantha, how dare you suggest that my friend doesn't deserve a sub? I'm sorry. That was mean of me. I'm sorry. For tomorrow's word is ghost, so I did do a sketch for that as well. This is basically kind of a retread of something I did a couple years ago as a Hollow Knight art. But I just literally it's just the little guy and the little guy's ghosty having a hug because I thought that was cute. My moderator / spouse is home. I'll be back in just a second, everyone. Look at this snail. I'll be back in a sec. Hi, sunshine. Hi, I missed you. I missed you so much. I'm glad you're home. It's my birthday weekend. You got some stuff on your sweater. It's my birthday weekend. Are you okay? Okay, good. I love you. Go get some rest. Play some helicopter adventure. That's wise. There might still be water in the kettle if you want a tea. I just boiled it. Anyways, my moderator / spouse has come home. You probably heard me muttering at him. It's my birthday weekend, y'all. It's my birthday weekend. My birthday's on Sunday. I'm very, I'm looking forward to that. Am I doing a lot? No. I never do. I mean, I say I never do. I literally flew to another country for 2 weeks last year for my birthday. But in fairness, I was staying in what used to be my bedroom in my parents' house, so it was a lot less expensive than that sounds. But it was still too expensive. Hi, Sunshine.
Anything to get out of having to sort you out a party.
My husband says anything to get out of having to sort me out a party. As if I'm the kind of person who would have wanted a party, Sunshine.
It's my birthday.
Well, the closest, I did have a party, kind of. I saw my family members, and I ate pie, and I got to play Carcassonne with my parents and Scrabble, and we went to the Canadian Airplane Heritage Museum in Hamilton, which is... It's fun. It's fun, and also my nephew was at the age where, like, this kind of thing is interesting to him as well, so we brought my nephew, and we all had chips for lunch. It was great. Hi, babe.
See, your Japanese birthday card arrived.
Did your Japanese birthday card arrived?
Eventually.
Yeah, true. Postal service. Anyways, I got a birthday card in the post today from my family-in-law who lives in Japan. I haven't opened it and looked at it yet because I don't know. What's the etiquette for birthday cards, y'all? What's the protocol for birthday cards? Like, are you allowed to open and read birthday cards before it's your birthday, or should you wait until your birthday day and then open and read the birthday cards that arrived before then? I don't actually know. I've never been consistent about this, and I don't know what the rule is, but if I know what the rule is, then I can follow the rule. And when rules are sensible to me, I like following them. Birthday cards before birthday, says Samantha. Okay, awesome. I will look at it later then. The birthday cards from the Japanese portion of the family are always really good. I don't know. I feel like they do greeting cards really, really well there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, I'm going to have a sip of one of my teas. I had to buy a different tea, a tea to the tea that I normally drink. I normally get a mint tea, and I couldn't find it, so I picked up a box of Moroccan mint, which I also really like. And then I found my regular green tea, like, a few aisles over in one of the, like, hey, this is on sale for cheap sections, and I was like, oh, well, what the hey, I'll just get both, so, Moroccan mint is nice. I like it. It's good. Because you get that sort of grassy smokiness from the green tea, which is pleasant with the mint. But I do have Moroccan mint tea sweet because I think that's how you're supposed to drink it. Really, is to have it sweet. Yeah, it's very refreshing. Anyways, should I actually try and do some painting today or no? I feel like I probably should. On account of, I need to post this today, so maybe I should try doing some painting. Anyways, I've been really preoccupied as well, just, like, mentally over the last... that thing is happening to me again where, like, an old interest has, like, reared its ugly head again, and I really want to watch some Star Trek. I really want to watch some Star Trek super bad. And I haven't had the chance to watch any Star Trek, but I've been watching a lot of, like, video essays about Star Trek and reviews of Star Treks, and I'm like, it's scratching the itch, but I also need to go back and watch it. Also, I've been reading a bunch of Star Trek fan fiction. It's just... It's a lot right now. Anyways, do you like Star Trek? What's your favorite character? I'm not going to make this into a Star Trek stream, don't worry. But if you do have a favorite character, feel free to shout it out in the chat. Because why not? Painting and an art stream says turn up. Gasp! Shock and horror. I'm so sorry. I know. We are shocked and stunned by this unfathomable, inconceivable, and heretofore never experienced experience, and that is painting. In a painting stream. Can you believe to learn to know? What am I thinking? Anyways, once again, for this one, I'm going to mask off first, but I'm going to be real careful not to knock over this bad boy, because if you were here on Monday, you'll know that I lost, like, several milliliters of this stanky stuff to, the paper. Anyways, I don't know. I like creating a Hallow Nest where everything's just a little bit nicer. I almost contemplated doing something slightly angsty for one of the art pieces, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. You know, Turnip says everyone's favorite Star Trek character is Luoxana, and if they deny that, they are lying. There's a YouTuber I recently watched who vehemently can't stand her, and the only thing that I can think, actually I can't think anything. I don't understand it. She is delightful and I love her. She is the best. I mean, I'm glad she's not my mom, but I would absolutely be her friend. Like, for sure. 100%. Anyways, oh no. The my masking fluid brush is going off the rails like extra prematurely this time. Like, look, like, how am I supposed to get a precise line when it's doing this to me? What the flip? Anyways, you're quite right, Turnip. She's good. I realize that I ask this question and then I think about it myself and I'm like, I don't know. Instinctively, there's a part of me that absolutely says Geordi. Like Geordi is just sunshine. I love him so much. He's delightful. But there's so many that's good. Anyways, Turnip says my favorite part from Luoxana is probably Dr. McCoy. Although I've watched TNG and DS9 much more than TOS. Oh, but Bones is great. I love Bones. I wholeheartedly endorse that choice. That's a good choice. He's a good character. He's a good dude, and he's just like, I don't know, he's just adorable. He's a delightful man. Absolutely delightful man. Samantha says best TNG character is Data. This is non-debatable. Interesting. I mean, I also love Data. But I think my favorite is Geordi. But also one of my favorite things about the show is like their like how they become like besties. Their little like Sherlock Holmes adventures, and I don't know. I like the two of them together as characters. Just like the way that they kind of get each other. So yeah, I'm here for that. Best Voyager character is 7 of 9. Data's boyfriend is also a good choice. Yeah, I love their little holodeck dress updates. It's so stinking cute. And I mean, okay. That being said, can we get an honorable mention for Spot, the cat? Also, because I will say my favorite Enterprise character is the dog. He's also the character who I feel like gets the most character development, but I also only watched Enterprise all the way through once, so I might be forgetting some. There might be some character development in there, I'm not sure. Anywho. Also honorable mention to a nice cup of Earl Grey tea, even though I'm more of an English breakfast person. Anyways, ugh, masking fluid is so gross. Only if it's hot. I'm trying to think if I've ever had iced Earl Grey tea. Probably. Actually, no, I'm not sure. I've had like an Earl Grey tea latte. That was actually kind of nice. They do like a fog style. It's funny because I don't think it's a thing that exists in the UK, but back in Canada there was a thing called a London fog that you could get at coffee shops sometimes, and it was basically like an Earl Grey tea latte that they add like vanilla to. It's quite cozy. But it's also there's nothing London about it. Snails, says Rex. There she is. Look at her. She's a Disney princess. Yeah. Hello, Rex. How's it going? Welcome in. Hello. Hope you were having Beautiful day. Tea, Moroccan mint, lukewarm. Mm-hmm. Nice. I should probably get a reference for the what I should be doing for the background color of the and background gubbins of the crystallized mound. I think it wants to be mostly sort of pinkish because the crystal area is the crystals are all pink and sort of lavender, which is a really fun choice. Though that being said, the actual crystallized mound area where this snail hangs out, the background is quite dark. So maybe I should mark in some maybe I should just mark in some background crystal shapes here and there. Just for funsies. Some background crystal shapes. Oh yeah. Doesn't that look fun and festive and crystalline? Sure, why not? Oh, also, I don't know if y'all saw, but apparently they are releasing a new Animal Crossing Lego set, and it is Blathers' Museum, and I am as excited about this as you would expect me to be. Which is very excited. Also, this pencil is getting quite dull, so I'm going to sharpen it before anyone asks me to draw a terrible drawing. Because I'm going to need a sharp pencil for that. Because some of those details get real teensy. Ah, flip. Well, she broke. Damn it, no! The best TOS character is whoever is punching Kirk. Okay, fair. These characters are getting weirdly specific in weird ways. The best DS9 characters, I don't know, Union Boy O'Brien. I mean, listen, I have mad respect for that Union man, okay? 100% I do. That's, oh my god, Rex! Best Enterprise character is when it ended. That poor show. That poor show. The best Enterprise character is the gay dude that the one character was going to be before the show started, and that then, I don't know, somebody was just like, don't you do that, and then they ended up making him be overcompensatory straight instead. And watching it with the knowledge that he was supposed to be a gay guy just makes the whole thing feel even weirder. But that character that never got to exist as that version of himself was the best character from the show. Anyways. But I had thoughts about that the other day. I really enjoy the banter between O'Brien and Julian in DS9. Me too! They're so cute! They're so cute! I love them! They're very, very fun. Anyways, I honestly think that Julian might be one of my favorite characters from the Deep Space Nine. I haven't actually properly watched the whole thing in a really, really long time, but I don't know, something autism coded, something relatable, something stop being parts of my lived experience, but in space. Anyways, I have to draw me sharpening this pencil, apparently. Samantha says, similarly, the best Picard character is that one brief moment when lesbianism was about to exist. Oh my god, they got to hold hands. They got to hold hands and they were ladies. That was the moment. I didn't actually watch past the first season, but I did watch a 3-hour video about how it wasn't that good. So, I feel like that's close enough. Anyways. And then immediately got broken off screen. Yeah. like why would you do that? I feel like that show had some problems. Um, Not helped by like trying to film in like panini situations. Also not helped by apparently like they were simultaneously writing the second and third seasons, so they kind of don't really relate to each other at all, and also are kind of weird. Your mileage may vary. Also, I haven't seen any of this, so like, don't listen to me. I have to do a terrible drawing time of me sharpening a pencil, so yes. Anyways, my one solace of them not putting queer characters in Star Trek like back in the 90s or the early 2000s is genuinely that like they would have taken those two characters, gotten them together after a whole bunch of will they won't they for like half an episode, and then one of them will die. And depending on what character it is, it's either to motivate the other one to have a redemption arc or a revenge arc, and that's it. That's what you get. They would just bury your gaze it, and you know, I'm really happy that they didn't do that. So that's the only reason that I'm kind of okay with it, you know? The best character in Discovery is when the evil Empress came back redeemed and we were just supposed to forget that she ate people, I guess. I feel like the best character in that show, and I haven't seen all of that show either, so like, again, your mileage may vary, is the good version of her from the regular universe that like died straight away. Oh shoot, spoilers for Discovery. I didn't say which character though. I didn't tell you which character, so it's not that much of a spoiler, I guess. Anyways, watch it or don't. I don't care. I watched one season and it was fine. Bep. Okay, 5 minutes. Me sharpening a pencil starting now. Let's go. Alright. Anyways. Oh, I'm nervous. I have to remember what I look like. So that's okay, so I'm gonna here's me. Is this this pencil is so sharp that it's actually hard to draw with now. I'm doing that thing where I'm concentrating real hard, so I'm like sticking my tongue out a bit, which I think I sort of do. I've got reasonably small ears, so I'm gonna give myself a reasonably small ear, and I've got a chubby round face, so I'm gonna give myself a chubby round face. I am a spherical being, and that's a wonderful thing to be. Okay, and currently my hair is down, so I'm going to draw my hair being down. And it is quite... I haven't done anything to it, so it's kind of just a big curly mess. Well, Professor, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Welcome, and thank you again for the follow, Professor Nick Darris. Hope you're having a lovely day. I'm on the clock, so I gotta make a move here. Okay, so I think this little hand is going to be holding my my little sharpeny doodad. All of the pencily bits are just flying out of it here because I don't know how to draw that. And then with this hand, I'm holding my pencil. My pencil is being sharpened, and I'm looking extremely determined. I'm wearing an unflattering tank top because it's warm in here, and I'm roughly this shape. There we go. I don't need to draw my... Do I need to draw my legs? I don't need to draw my legs. I did not expect a fanfare, says Professor Nick Terrace. Well, that's just the kind of appreciation that we have for new followers. So yeah, welcome in. I am just I've been tasked with drawing myself, sharpening a pencil. I feel like I can do better. Is that a splash of color I spy on a terrible drawing time drawing? I was requested to draw rainbow sherbet, and I didn't know how else to do it without busting out the pro colors, so it is indeed a splash of color on a terrible drawing time canvas. I know. Controversial. but I didn't know how else to do it, so here we are. Okay, I'm gonna exaggerate the size of these things just so you can see them a little bit better. So like here is pencil, and I'm just kind of holding on to it with my weird bad hand, and then here is pencil sharpener with my little blade, like so, and then some little waves of pencil shavings coming out the top, as you do. There we go. Wow, I look great. Is that even legal? Asks Samantha. I don't know anymore. I just don't know. Technically my t-shirt does have, oh god, you can tell I bought this t-shirt in the 2010s because it's got like some little crossed arrows on it. This shirt is terrible. Like, it's made out of the, like, look at this material. It is so, like, it is covered in baubles. It is just like the crappiest, cheapest t-shirt material I've ever seen in my life. But I just read a bunch of Hawkeye comics, and it had arrows on it, and Hawkeye does bow and arrow stuff, and it says "Go your own way," and it's purple, and I'm like, that's so Hawkeye branded. I want this shirt. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing. I'm gonna need to ever so slightly emphasize my chin here. And wait a second, which side is my tattoo on? This wait, no, this side my tattoo. Okay, I need to make sure that my tattoo is represented because you can see my arm. It's some lavender. Anyways, but here we are. Oh, apparently. Okay, the timer's going, but it's just decided not to sound, so I don't know how much longer than 5 minutes I spent on this, but anyways, for anyone who doesn't know, terrible drawing time is this phenomenon that happens on stream, where, for 5 minutes, for 5,000 channel points, I have to draw a character or concept of your choosing from memory or sight unseen on the terrible drawing canvas, and today I had to draw myself sharpening a pencil, so... There it is. This pencil is now so small because I had to sharpen it down quite a bit just now because the lead broke. Copper Mustache, hello. How's the snail shaman coming along? Let me show you. Just, yeah. Biblically accurate Sammy tattoo. Oh god, no. No, I don't want that many eyes on my body. That's horrifying. Here she is. She's just having a nice time. Anyways, I hope you're having a lovely Thursday. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Okay. I guess I can and should and will begin to paint. So first of all, underpainting wants to be Crystal Peak Pink, doesn't it? Of course it does. Of course. Maybe kind of a gradient of Crystal Peak Pink with some Crystal Peak Lavender, I think would work. So let me wet my brush and collect some paints. Anyways, that's cute. I got a soft spot for Hollow Knight, says Copper Mustache. Well, aren't you in luck? This month is Hollow Knight Art Month. So there is a whole prompt list of Hollow Knight Hollow Knight related words to draw from for painting purposes. And I have been doing, my favorite way to do Hollow Knight artwork is to use like a pastel shade to do like an underpainting, because so many of the areas, they're all kind of gray and dark and gray, but they all have these interesting undertones of color. And I find this a really effective way to kind of recreate that. Copper Mustache, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. A whole month, says Copper Mustache. Here, let me give you a link to the site, which is here. And that has the whole 31-day prompt list. We are 22 days into it because it covers the month of May. But if you wanted to participate, you are very welcome to do so and take any of the prompts that you want as inspiration. And if you do share them anywhere, you can use the HKAM25 hashtag so that folks can find your artworks. So there's been a load of people doing some really, really cool Hollow Knight artwork this month. Really, really lovely stuff, from like traditional just like illustrations. I've seen sketches on Post-its. I've seen I've seen postage stamp sized paintings. Just, like some really lovely just illustrations generally. And all kinds of neat stuff. So yeah, it's a good time. The real Hollow Knight Art Month was the art we made along the way, and I've made 21 of them so far. In case anyone missed yesterday's, the prompt word was tram. And I am so stupid. I am such a silly little ding dong that when I saw that the prompt words was tram, I just remembered that I remember, oh, these paints have bled together. That's okay. I'm making a gradient anyway, so you know what? That kind of works for me. I'm cool with that. Anyways, I remembered that there is a stop on the Toronto TTC tram that is Shaw Street. And so I did a little painting. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. I did a little painting of, where is it? I did a little painting of Hornet from Hollow Knight. You may be familiar. And she is riding a TTC tram. And the next stop is Shaw. Because she's getting off at Shaw Street, which is a street in Toronto. Ugh. And I thought that was real silly and fun of me. So there you go. Hornet from Silk Song says Copper Mustache. Yeah, that one. Silk Song, which is apparently releasing this year. I am so pumped. I am extremely pumped for the very real possibility that we might actually, at some point within my lived existence, even maybe, who knows, play Silk Song, question mark? It's maybe likely, even? I don't know. I'm excited. Anyways, Hornet's favorite stop on the tram, says Samantha. Hell yeah. It was then subsequently pointed out to me that there is also a Shaw stop in on the Manchester Metro network. And I felt really embarrassed for not remembering this because I used to live in Manchester. And I've been to Shaw in the greater Manchester area, in fact. And I had completely forgot about that so I could have also done the Manchester Metro, though. For me, because I think possibly because I'm Canadian, because I come from Southern Ontario, the Toronto TTC just feels slightly more iconic to, like, my brain. But again, that's just my cultural frame of reference, I suppose. But anyways, but I have been to Shaw in Greater Manchester. I had a tuna baguette from the Pound Bakery, and there was just a random parade that we didn't know was going to happen that day. I was there to visit a wool shop, as you do. Anyways. I will believe Silk Song is real when I'm playing it and not before, says Samantha. You know what that is? That is very fair. That is very fair. I'm looking forward to it. I'm super aware that I'm going to be incredibly bad at it. But, you know, I'm just middling at Hollow Knight, so, like, that's fine. Okay. This underpainting is stinking cute. I'm feeling it so far, I think. I like the Crystal Peak area because I get to use a lot of these sort of, like, quite vibrant pinks and sort of going into, like, lavender in places. It's quite fun. I like areas of the game where I get to kind of play with color in that way when I'm painting, like Green Path Queen's Gardens with all of the, like, greens and teal, and going into, like, teals and stuff as well is also really nice. And then there's City of Tears, which is just, like, it's just blue. It's just blue, and I have zero complaints about that because I love blue, and I think it's quite fun as well. There are some areas where there's, like, no color. And I do like getting to play with color, but those are fun also. Every area of the game has been fun to paint so far, so hell yeah. Anyways. Ta-da! I think that's a decent sort of pinky gradient we've got going there, so that'll do quite nicely. Anyways, yeah, I'm still like, I know, Silk Song 2025, I know this, but they haven't given us, like, a specific day, so I'm kind of almost waiting for it to just, like, drop with, like, no announcement of a release date. It's just like, it's out today! And that's it. And then everyone just absolutely loses their minds. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they just, like, stealth dropped it and it's just, like, someone found it on Steam, like, a day later and they were like, wait, how long has this been active? Need to create a tramway that connects Shaw Street, Diano Lane, and Garaba Avenues. And to ride this tram, you must, of course, get good! Hell yeah. I'm expecting it to release December 31st, says Copper Mustache. Oh my god. Technically, that would be 2025, so that's fine. As long as it doesn't launch until at least June 1st, because I'm busy with Hollow Knight Art Month until then. I need to finish all these ding-dang paintings. Speaking of, that needs to dry for a minute, which is why it's gone away, so I'm gonna work on the background for this little sketchy dude that I did for the prompt ghost, which is literally just the little guy getting a hug from their ghostie. Cause I painted something similar a couple of years ago, and I'm like, you know, I just want to paint a big hug. Also, I didn't have any better ideas for this prompt, and I want to do something that doesn't have too complicated of a background because I'm tired. Anyways, I will mask this off, but I probably don't need to mask it off too hard because mostly this little guy is just void colored anyways, so that's fine. But this little guy, their head is like white, so I want that to mostly. Oh shoot! I'm so sorry. I just bumped the mic with my hand. I hope everyone's okay. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea, and then I'm going to take accountability. Still tastes like Moroccan mint. This is very chuggable. This is too chuggable. It's dangerous. Oh no. I just gave it y'all, there's like a teaspoon of sugar that was just unstirred at the bottom of this cuppy. Which means that what remains of this tea is basically syrup. Accountability, says Samantha. Yes, it's my favorite flavor of tea. The night needs more hugs, says Turnip. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. More hugs. More hugs. I don't know. I like a softer version of the world where the little guy gets hugs and oh my god, that's mint syrup with a hint of green tea. Still less chuggable, says Professor Nectar. You're not wrong. This is very sweet. Anyways, I thought I type out hugs there as bugs. The night has plenty of bugs already. This is also true. Oh my god. It's probably for the best that you can't see the faces I'm making right now because that is intense. Listen, I take a lot of my teas with sugar. My brain runs on glucose and I need it to focus. Honestly, like, who needs ADHD medication when you have sugar and caffeine? I've been unwittingly, like, self-medicating with, like, homemade focus juice for my whole life. Attention. Tastes so good. Tastes like chamomile with a hint of cinnamon. This tea over here is called the Cat's Pajamas, and it's chamomile with a hint of cinnamon. Anyways, the knight is always looking for more bugs for their collection. Oh. I'm certainly always on the lookout for grubs when I'm playing the Hollow Knight. One of the saddest parts of the game is when you get to an area where there's a grub in need of rescuing, but it's like on the other side of a wall or something, and you're going to have to take a really roundabout route to get to that side of that wall, and you hear like the grub like senses your presence. You're like right next to it, but there's a wall between you, and you need to figure out like a different way around to get. So you have to move away from the wall again, and you hear, you know, like when you get close to it, you hear the grub go like, "Whoop!" And then when you move away, you hear, "Oh," and it just makes me so sad every time I hear the little "oh," because the grub was like, "I'm gonna be rescued." Oh no, I'm not. And they probably thought that I was just, I hope they didn't think that I was just abandoning them. It's just, I can't break through that. The game has not decided that that's a breakable wall, little buddy. I'm gonna have to come at it from a different direction. But don't worry. You're gonna get rescued. Because I can't not rescue every single grub in the game. That would just be horrible of me. I know some people don't care for the grubs as much, but I think they're precious. I think they're precious, and I think they're worth saving. You also, and I mean, you know, like, Grub Daddy will give you rewards. And who doesn't appreciate the delightful rewards of Grub Daddy? I'm not sorry that I call him Grub Daddy. He's the daddy of the grubs! Who are these people who do not care for the grubs? These people must have no soul. I think it's people who, I don't know. Probably the same people who don't like Loaxana Troy. If I had to guess. Anyways. Bloop. There is an ice cream van somewhere outside. So I apologize if you can hear ice cream van noise and it's making you want ice cream. I have some ice cream in the freezer. It's chocolate. I decided to be silly and it was on sale, and so I bought myself chocolate ice cream. Oh, Jesus. Black Tomcat in the chat says, hey, ice cream people. Tomcat, you summoned them. Because they got louder. I think they just drove past my house. It's like they saw your chat message, Tomcat. How did you do that? Tomcat says, will you be mixing the ice cream with a nice espresso? Well, I wasn't going to, but now that you've said it, I kind of want to affogato it. I've never done that with chocolate ice cream. I bet that's good. Anyways. Who doesn't want ice cream, says Professor Nick Terrace. I don't know. Listen, I'm lactose intolerant and I want ice cream. I forgot about it, says Tomcat. Yep. I would like one Mr. Whippy, says Samantha. Oh my god, I haven't had Mr. Whippy in so long. Tomcat says, sorry, texting while driving the ice cream van. No! Captain Alice says, ice cream. Wholeheartedly agree, Alice. Wholeheartedly agree. I'm gonna have to have ice cream tonight, damn it. Turnip, thank you very much for the lurk. Thank you. I hope you have a lovely, lovely lurk. Samantha says, with a 99 flake. Oh my god, classic. Absolutely classique. Delightful. Mr. Whippy wasn't really so much of a thing when I was growing up in my country of birth. As you can probably tell by my accent, I wasn't born in the UK. Immigrant klaxon alert. So my perspectives are a little bit different. I'm actually working on a video about that right now for my YouTube channel. Here's a link to my YouTube channel. I am so close. I'm on that 200 creep right now. I am creeping towards 200 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And I know that numbers don't matter, and it does not matter, and it's not a big deal at all. I just like nice round numbies, damn it. And my birthday's on Sunday. And so I set myself the arbitrary goal of hitting 200 subscribers on my YouTube channel before I turn 41. I don't think it's gonna happen, but hey, you know what? Like, a gremlin can dream, damn it. A gremlin can dream. Anyways, but yeah, I'm working on a video right now that is very much, like, immigrant stuff. Not from, like, a serious, like, you know, here's why it feels real crappy when the government decides to appease, like, the worst people in the country by being like, we're gonna make immigration harder and worse. Which is, like, the opposite of a good idea. It's a terrible idea, but, like, I don't wanna get too loud about my opinions on that, lest they decide that I'm too not grateful enough to live here or something. Anyways. Instead, it's a video about just some very weird differences that I never even thought to, like, think about between where I was born and where I live now in terms of, like, just everyday stuff. Specifically, I've been thinking about milk. So I'm making a video about milk. So I hope that people like videos about milk, I guess. What am I doing? What is this YouTube channel? I don't know. Anyways, Tomcat says I was AFK for a bit and almost thought we went from talking about avoiding ice cream to talking weight. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Eat all the ice cream you want. Your size is fine. Whatever it is. The ice cream van. I came back to creeping towards 200 subscribers on YouTube. $200 subscribers on YouTube. Anyways, I will eat all of the ice cream, says Samantha. Hell yeah. I will eat a medium-sized portion of ice cream accompanied by a lactase pill. Because I think that's about as much as my body can handle without giving me horrible, horrible, horrible tummy trouble. That's a hefty amount of subscribers. It must be a heavy task to get there. It's taken a long old time, Tomcat. It has taken a long old time. The algorithm does not like me or my upload schedule. I don't know. Or maybe my extremely mercurial topic choices are too niche to find a niche among viewership. I don't know. I have to be led by my interests, otherwise I'll just get depressed and stop doing things. And my interests can be very specific. Anyways. This is a hug, because I thought it would be cute. Who wouldn't want to watch milk videos, says Copper Mustache? I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. Is your YouTube purposely not linked on your Twitch, says Tomcat. No, that is an oversight because I'm an idiot. I can link it in the chat again, though. I was like 10 minutes late starting stream today because I just straight ahead forgot. I was like, okay, everything's ready to go. I hadn't launched my streaming software. I was like, okay, what am I missing? Wait, what's happening? I hadn't opened OBS. I'd done everything else, but I hadn't opened it. So then I had to wait for OBS to load. And then as soon as OBS loaded, my camera stopped connecting to the computer. What a wonderful life. Anyways, Tomcat says, once YouTubers gain fame, like 190 subscribers, they just try to milk content, SMH. Oh. Thank you. That was beautiful. Professor Nictera said, my body recently decided it doesn't like fructose, so I take pills for that. Bodies are annoying. They really, like, why do they do this? It's a perfectly innocuous ingredient. I'm here with you on that, my friend. Like, for me, it's lactose, and now it's wheat also, so, like, you know, solidarity, fist bump. That sucks. I'm really glad to know that there are pills for that, though. I'm really glad to know that there are pills for that. At least you've got, you know, you're covered in that way. Because, man, I hadn't really thought about what color I want to make the background of this. What other background colors have I used? I'm just gonna go back and look at my own Hollow Knight Art Month entries so far, because I want to maybe use a different color to the colors that I've done in the backgrounds of things before. Ooh, okay, yeah. So I've done sort of a purpley, I've done like a sort of a grayish blue, I've done like a bright blue. So maybe for this one we do the background in like a greenish. Could do the background in, I don't want to do the background in like orange, because in this game orange is like the color of infections usually. So I think maybe a soft green might be nice. So I'll do a soft green and then we'll drop a quick BRB after that. A nice soft green I think might be nice. Maybe this teal sort of going into like yellow. That could be cool. Okay, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna pick up some teal. Happy little teal. Which is this teal or turquoise? I asked this a few weeks ago. This color is technically mint, but this feels like teal to me. They call this turquoise and this mint, but this feels like teal to me. And that feels like just blue. Like that's just blue. Sometimes the people who name colors, I have thoughts and I have questions. There's another set that I have from Schminke, who one of the colors is just, I think it's like Shire blue, but it's green. It's just like, it's a very green teal, and it's called Shire blue for some reason. And I'm like, are you sure though? Are you sure that's what it is? Because I'm not convinced. But, you know, go on, I guess. having a lovely Thursday. I'm just still working on my my gradient here. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I want to green out this yellow just a little bit more on this side, and then hell yeah, and then we'll get to painting. Okay. And we paint. Oh my god, that is a bright green. Hell yeah, that's brighter than I had anticipated it was going to be, but you know what? That's fine. I'm cool with that. That's kind of neat. Anyways. I'm going to have a BRB in just a second, but don't you worry. I will not be doing anything interesting whilst the BRB screen is up, because unfortunately, I've got to run ads because Twitch makes you. But I don't want anyone to feel like they have to be like subbed or they're gonna miss stuff, because that's not fair and that's not fun, and I don't expect anyone to do that. So, I'll pop up a BRB screen at that point and stop painting. But before then, I'm gonna try and get the rest of this done as quickly as I can. Yay! Okay. Anyways, yeah, what was I saying? Ah, beans. Tomcat says, I like how your sticky toffee pudding video says, and spices, if you're using them, appealing to both British and non-British viewers, eh? Yep, This is also true. Anyways, shoot, it's BRB time. Okay, I'm gonna pop on the BRB screen, and we'll be back in just a minute. So, I hope you enjoy the BRB songs. See you in a minute, BRB! Sup, nerds? I really hope ads are over. Hi, everybody, I'm back. Anyways, just gonna futz with this a smidge more. But we have, I hope, some manner of a gradiente. And I feel good about it. We blend. We blend. We blend. Okay, alright. This is, I don't know if this is a weird gradient. I feel like the ghosty is really gonna pop. Which I'm here for. Because that'll hopefully look really cool. Okay.
Plop, 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 plop.
Okay. Mira, thank you so much for... Mira, thank you for the kiwi plaps and also for Shaw. Thank you for the ooh hornet. Feels very on brand. Hi, Mira. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for the dickies. Oh. Which jump scare me every dang time. So thank you. Hope you're having a lovely day. How are you doing? How's your Thursday? I have returned from break with what's left of my sports drink. It's lemon lime. This is very inspiring, says Professor Nick Terrace. Yay! By the way, I was sitting very still then because I was aware of the fact that I had a bird on my head and I wanted to be, you know, mindful of that. Kiwis, as a general rule, don't fly, so I'm assuming that it was not unchallenging for that little bird to get up there in the first place. So, you know, respect. Anyways, cleaning my brushy.
Domo.
And a doma to you too, Mira. Thank you very much. Oh, hang on a second. Look there. Oh, they're friends. They're friends now. Thank you very much for the domas. Much appreciated. I couldn't let Hollow Knight Armonth pass without making another Hollow Knight sticker because it's so stupid. Anywho, what was I about to do? I was about to put some colors down. I don't have any tissue in this room. Why don't I have any tissue in this room? Where have all my tissues gone? Shoot. Copper Mustache says Doma is friends with everybody. I love him so much. He is, I think, one of my very favorite characters in the Hollow Knight is the Dung Defender, because he's so jolly. He's so jolly and he's so cute. And I don't know, it just makes me happy. I don't have, that I know of, any tissue, so I'm gonna go grab some tissues so that I can, like, blot things, because I'm gonna need to. Heck. I've commandeered a new loo roll. I'm just gonna use that. That'll do. Anyways, hello again. Alright. This needs to feel more like the crystallized mound. And if there's one thing that the crystallized mound is, it's a lot darker than this. So we're gonna have to set the pastels to one side. And look at, doing, look at dropping my paints and painting and hoping that I didn't ruin it. Hey, it's not ruined. Everything's fine. But I did drop my paint palette. Okay. I need to bring in the dark and spooky colors. I love the fact that you can tell that I use these, like, these Japanese black, dark, I love Japanesque color. What a wonderful translation. Japanesque color. Not Japanese paint, Japanesque color. Hello.
Professor Nysteris cheered. X40.
Professor, thank you so much for the 40 biddies. That's very much appreciated. Very kind indeed. Thank you, thank you. Bents. You can tell which colors are the most useful for Hollow Knight fan art because I pretty much only use this palette during Hollow Knight Art Month, and it's not a lot of blue and a lot of purple and just a little bit of brown and like a tiny amount of red. Really don't use a lot of the green or the yellow. But I'm going to run out of this blue faster than any other paint that I own, except maybe for neutral tint, which I seem to be getting through quite a lot of lately. It's just a very useful gray to have. Thank you, neutral tint. The most boringly named paint, but also, for me anyways, one of the most useful. Okay. Okie dokie. I'm getting rid of these colors because I don't need any more of them, and I would like to have some space back on my palette. Anyways. Oh, no way! Professor Dictera says, I have that exact Japanesque color set I ran off to check. Wow! That is so stinking cool! That is so stinking cool. Do you enjoy it? I enjoy it. As you can tell, I'm getting a lot of use out of some of these colors, certainly. It is a good time. Anywho. I find that this area of the game wants purplish black. So I will be picking up some purplish black. I think I might try and like gradient down the intensity of the dark color, because I would like the snail to not just like blend in, and if it's too dark, I feel like the snail is going to kind of blend in. So so I think that'll work. Anyways, gonna take a sip of my tea, which I'm getting quite a lot of. It's giving cinnamony today, which is nice. And the first time I tried this tea, I didn't get any cinnamon at all. I just got chamomile, but now it's giving cinnamon for sure, which is nice. Professor Nictera says, I generally forget I have it. I put it in my "you should use this" bag and still don't. Oh, beans, I got paints like that. I definitely have paints like that. I have paints that like I used to use quite a lot and don't use as often anymore, and then I've got paints that I just like, I would really like to use this, and then I don't. So there we are. Anyways. But I find this to be most useful, especially at like this this time of year when I'm doing predominantly Hollow Knight art. Okay. I'm trying here to gradient down the intensity of the grayish purplish, and I don't think it's working very well. I want less of you. Okay. Less? Okay. Yes, less. Less is yes. Cool. I might go ahead and just add some more further up, actually, to also better hammer home the idea of less. Closer to the top of the piece. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's a nice fade down. Then I've got these little crystal formations that I had painted in, and I would like to not paint over them with like purplish gray. So there you have it. Anyways, this is looking super weird. Sometimes that's a weird thing about this this pastel paint, is that sometimes when you just put other paints on top of it, it kind of just sits there like a nice underpainting, and other times you just look at it and it lifts. And sometimes I want it to lift, and sometimes I really like don't want it to lift. So, you know, that's interesting. That's fun. That's a good time for me. Okay. Well, that's doing something. It's not really what I had in mind, but it's definitely doing a thing. Hey, Gumby, welcome in. How are you doing? It's wonderful to see you, and welcome. Hello. Hope you're having a beautiful... I hope you're having the loveliest of lovely days. Very much I am. I don't know how, but I created this, like, weird sort of line here. I don't know what's happening there. So I feel like, can I blend that out a smidge so it doesn't look quite so much like there's just a stripe? That would be fine. I'm gonna try and blend things out a little bit. I'm just lifting the underpainting now. Great. Oh well, whatever. Whatever. It's fine. Anyways, but yes, hello. I hope everyone's Thursday is going well. Also, while I was on BRB, I had a little chat with my moderator / spouse, and we discussed a little bit more what our favorite Star Trek characters would be. And I had a little bit more thought, and I feel like one of my favorite Star Trek characters is, and this is going to be a deep cut for some of you, I realize, because this isn't a Star Trek stream, this is a Hollow Knight art stream, but one of my favorite Star Trek characters is specifically Major Kira's, like, cottagecore Bajoran civilian wardrobe. Those were just some really cute looks, and I would unironically wear them. So, there we go. But yeah, anyways. Mine was good, says Gumby. I'm a bit low spoons now, because it was such a busy day. Oh goodness, that is a mood. And I feel that. And I hope that you are able to, adequately recover some cutlery. Because cutlery is important, and I feel that. And, yeah. Wishing you some restorative cutlery vibes. Speaking of spoons, speaking of literal spoons, there's a YouTuber that I watch sometimes, and she always uses, like, a wood spoon. No matter what she's eating, she always uses a wood spoon, and it looks like it would be really satisfying to eat with. I don't think I've ever really eaten with, like, apart from the, like, disposable little, like, wood spoons and forks that you get when you get ice cream or chips or that kind of thing, I've never really eaten with, like, a purpose-built, like, nice, polished, mouth-sized wooden spoon before, but it looks like it would feel so nice, and I kind of want to get one and try. Because I'm like, would this be nice? This seems like it might be kind of nice. Like, would I want that? I don't know, but I kind of want to find out. Because it looks really pleasant. Anyways. Because I don't know about y'all, but I am the kind of person who has, like, a preferred spoon to eat with. Or a preferred, like, type of spoon to eat with. There are spoons that I really don't want to eat with at all. I don't like, when you're out and you order soup and they give you like a spoon that's like a tablespoon sized thing, and I'm like, have you seen my mouth? That's not gonna comfortably fit. I don't want to be eating that much soup at once. I want to be able to take little sips. I want to take little sips of my soup, and I can't do that if you give me a giant spoon. I like a little spoon. A nice little spoon is a good spoon shape. Big spoon, too big for mouth. Metal touch teeth, no, bad. Not into it. Anyways, Gumby says, I don't really like the texture of the disposable wood ones, but an actual spoon-sized spoon of wood does sound interesting. Yeah, it's like polished and smooth and like pleasantly textured, as opposed to like the disposable ones, which are like unfinished and kind of rough hewn and cheap, which, is fine, I guess, but not really my bag. Anyways, this needs to dry again. So, I'm sorry we keep, like, swapping back and forth between paintings, but I can't do anything with this until it dries a little bit more. Anyways, I'm debating how much more I want to do with the background on that piece. Professor Nicteris says, I carry around an emergency titanium spoon in my purse. Oh my god, you genius. That's brilliant. I love that. I don't have emergency spoons in my purse, but I do have a set of chopsticks. At least I think I still have a set. I used to have a set of chopsticks in my purse, just in case. Just in case I find myself in like a food-related emergency where I'm like, I need something to eat this with. Chopsticks. And that's a point. I use chopsticks all the time, and they're made of wood. But they're like the nice home chopsticks as opposed to like the takeaway ones that you get, which are the same as like the little forks. So they're like nice wood, and I have no problem with those. I think they're very pleasant to eat with. I love eating with chopsticks. Especially nice at-home chopsticks. So I expect if I like using the nice at-home wood chopsticks, I would also like using a wooden spoon. Why didn't I think of that sooner? That makes so much sense. I'm such a silly goose. Anyways, Gummy says I still don't know how to use chopsticks. Friend, have I got exciting news for you? They have these chopsticks that are for people who are learning to use chopsticks. I mean, technically they're for kids, but like, who cares? Adults can use them. And they're connected at the top, but they also have like little animals on them and stuff, so you can get one that's got like a little elephant or a bear, and they're really cute. I also have emergency travel chopsticks, says Alice. Hell yeah! It is a very useful thing to have. You never know when you might want to eat a bento, Anyways. Professor says, I bought a cute portable cutlery set called Outlery, but it's too heavy to carry around all the time. Ah, beans. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I feel like would be really useful for me to carry around, and I'm like, but I can't though, because it gets too heavy. Like, I would love to be one of those people who carries around like a reusable water bottle all the time and just have like a liter of water on my person when I'm out and about all the time, so that I can, like stay hydrated if I'm out in the sun all day, that kind of thing. But man, just, the extra weight that is, as opposed to say like this bottle of Lucozade, the actual bottle itself weighs like 5 grams versus like a nice reusable cuppy that's like made of glass or metal or something like that weighs like several hundred grams, makes a big difference to the weight of one's shoulder bag. And I can only bear so much weight before I start to chronic pain, and I don't want to go back to that part of my life, because let's just say I spent a good portion of my studenthood just having, like, neck and back pain all the time, and it wasn't until, like, I was no longer a student that I was like, oh, wait a second. Now I remember what life feels like when you're not in continuous neck and back pain. This is so much better. So yeah, I don't want to go back to that. Especially now that I'm over 40, so everything gonna hurt more. And also, my back has been hurting this week. It is still sore. It's a little weirder today. I feel like it is getting better, but, like, my back still hurts. I think I did something to my back, like, maybe Monday-ish, somewhere around then. And it was quite painful yesterday and Tuesday. And now I think it's in the stage where my back is sore because I've been, like, compensating for the parts that hurt by, like, standing differently and, like, moving around differently to try not to twang my back, which in turn has made my back hurt in different ways. Yay! Anyways, I'm turning 41 on Sunday, so happy pre-birthday to me. I will do a birthday stream next week. I don't know how yet, but I will. We'll do something fun. I will... Will I keep you... I will keep you posted somehow. I have a Discord, by the way, for anyone who's not in the Discord and would want to join the Discord. I do have one. It's there. Tis a quiet place and a silly place, but we do have fun there. And, if you want to find out when I stream or post stuff, apart from any time I post art on social media, because I'm really, really bad with updating Discord when I post new art, because I don't want to spam, even though it's my own Discord. I don't want to feel like I'm monopolizing the conversation and making everything about me. But I will let you know when I'm live and my schedule and that kind of thing there. And if you stream, you can also let us know when you stream. If you do artwork or cook food or do whatever, you can let us know. Show us pictures of your projects. We love to see it. Or just lurk. It don't matter. It's all good. Anyways. But, yes. Oh. Oh, my back. My back is complaining now. This may not be a super long stream because my back is now complaining. But I do need to finish at least one of these artworks today, so we will be doing that, don't worry. Anyways. Okay, that's a good first pass on the cloakage, I think. We'll come back and futz around with it a little bit. And also our happy little sword. Is that an appropriate happy little sword? I know it's a nail, but it's sword adjacent. Listen, it's fine, don't worry about it. Here it is. I'm gonna take a sip of my beverage because I'm a very thirsty girl. Oh, nom 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 nom. Anyways, what's for my dinner tonight? What am I making for dinner tonight? Oh goodness, does anyone remember what I'm making for dinner tonight? I should ask my moderator/spouse. I'm either making salad or Swedish meatballs. I don't know which one, but I'm either making salad or Swedish meatballs. So, like, either is good. I'm making salad! Yay! Thank you, sunshine! At least someone remembers what's happening around here. I've been asked to share an affirmation, so let me pull out an affirmation deck. Here's an affirmation deck. This kind of makes me want to make my own collection of affirmations. I bought these ones from Illustory, who is a lovely artist of neat things. In my humble opinion, you can put Swedish meatballs on top of a salad. I completely agree. But we really wanted, like, I think Swedish meatballs with, like, mashed potato, Swedish veggie meatballs, because I don't eat the meats, but the Swedish meatballs nonetheless with mashed potatoes and some vegetable, and I wanted to put jam on the side, but I don't have any appropriate jam, so I can't. Okay, if we get the same one that we got last time for cards, I'm gonna start feeling like this deck is rigged. So hopefully this isn't a repeat. What'd we get? What's our affirmation for today? Lingonberry, says Professor Nick Terrace. Yes, absolutely, Lingonberry. So good. I like this. Give yourself time to rest. This is something that I need to remind myself a lot, because I tend to feel like if I'm not working on something, I'm wasting time, but then, like, I exhaust myself to the point that all I can do is sit, and then while I'm just sitting, I will mentally berate myself for not getting things done. So this is for me as much as it is for everyone else. And for everyone else, this is a reminder that rest is a part of, the creative process. Rest is a part of being. Like, your body and your mind and your spirit need time to rest. Rest is productive. Rest is productive. You will be able to do the other parts of your life better if you allow yourself the opportunity to rest. So, there you have it. Samantha says, remember, unless you're a warlock, you're not going to get all your spell slots back unless you take a long rest. Exactly. And even if you are a warlock, you should have a long rest sometimes anyways, just because it's nice. Just because it's nice, Have yourself a nice big plate of Swedish meatballs with mashed potatoes and some good berry jam. So anyways, that was affirmation time. Give yourself time to rest. It's important. Whew. Anyways. I do notice that my ability to do stuff diminishes. The returns doth diminish if I get too like lost in trying to get too many things done. Yeah. Gumby says that hits home, especially after my long day today. Especially after a long day. Rest is important. Rest is productive. Rest is part of the process. You gotta do it. Samantha says, and remember, clerics are just warlocks with more socially acceptable sugar daddies. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna remember this the next time I need to make a character. Maybe I'll play a cleric, just because I find that hilarious. I mean, I have played a warlock before, and her patron is definitely, her patron is a very generous and extremely powerful girlfriend. Because I was just like, what if your warlock patron was what if you were just dating? What if it was just your girlfriend? And your girlfriend happens to be, like, an extremely ancient and powerful creature. And you're just like a random gnome with a job, Anyways, that's how that warlock became a warlock. Got a girlfriend. Tale as old as time. Anyways, okay. I need to, this guy is basically just very, very dark. Very, very, very absence of color. So, I think I'm gonna add another blobbit of paint to my palette. I don't normally work directly from tubes, but this works. So I'm just gonna squidge out some very dark gray and hope that I can get this creature to close again. Anyways, Samantha says, look, warlock gains their magic from a more powerful entity who requires a specific acts of service in return. I mean, there are a lot of ways that you could spin that that relationship, for sure. Clerics gain their magic from a more powerful entity who often requires specific acts of service in return. It's the same picture. Oh my god, Samantha. Amazing. We're learning things about Dungeons & Dragons today. Hooray. Anyways. Okay. Can I thin this out enough that it is paint withable, but not so much that it's not the color of void and stuff. Doof. Okay. When I'm done with this segment, I'm going to need to change my paint water because it's real dark. Okie dokie. Oh, dang. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. There's way too much paint on my brush right now. It is too saturated and it is putting way too much down on the canvas. That's better. Because I want it to be as dark as I can, but I also still want it to be a little bit transparent because it is watercolor after all. And that's the joy of watercolor. Okay. Sorry, got quiet, was concentrating. Anyways. There are so many, you know, the Dungeons and Dragons is so expansive that I'm now realizing, just now, how many different character types I haven't played yet. I've spent the most time with being a sorcerer, who I love dearly. And I'm very attached to them, because they're great. I've been a warlock. I've been a bard. And my first ever Dungeons and Dragons character was a druid. And I think that's it. I think that's it for D&D. That's all the characters that I've been. Druid was fun. She came from the forest and was that fun sort of... There is a lot about the culture of the wider world that I have yet to experience, so I'm like the fun sort of innocent about things. Like, she doesn't quite grasp currency yet, so she's just like, how many circles do I need to give you? And she's taking coins out of her bag, you know, for like an ale or whatever. And she's like, I'm sorry, how many circles do I need to give you? What color? Like the gray ones or the brown ones? Oh, the yellow ones. Dang. Okay, here you go. Anyways, she was fun. What I really want to do, says Samantha, is roll up a warlock in a party alongside a cleric and just really bug that cleric and insist on referring to their deity as their patron. I mean, at least you're not referring to their deity as their sugar daddy. Which would also be hilarious. That's a fun character dynamic. I enjoy that. It's delightful. Okay. I wonder if Ranger would be fun. I've never been a Ranger. That seems like a good time. I've never played tabletop, but it looks like so much fun. It is super fun, Gumby. If you find like a good group of friends to do it with, it's a great time. I've had a lot of good times doing it. Am I good at it? What is it like? What does that even mean? But it's fun. Anyways. I have contemplated before what it would be like to like run a game, but I don't know if I've got the brain to do that. Maybe like a baby's first one shot for people who haven't played before. I've thought about doing that. I thought that might be fun. Sorry. Sugar deity, says Rex. Yes, perfect. Rangers, they exist. So, somewhat improved by Tasha's, but still lacking. Yeah, the impression that I get is that a lot of people aren't really into that as a class, but also, I don't know, in terms of like, I don't really care about like how useful is like my character class in terms of like mechanics and that kind of thing. I'm mostly interested in like, how can I make this into like a silly or fun character? Like, there are aspects of my warlock character who are extremely poorly optimized. Like, what is it? I think agonizing blast lets you like do an eldritch blast, but then like add one of your modifiers to it. But the modifier was a stat that I had 0 in. So it's like, okay, I can do this and then add +0. Oh boy, okay, sure. So it was like the most pointless special feature because it literally did nothing. Anyways, she was great. She's so much fun. She's just a happy little gnome. Charisma, that was it. She has +0 to charisma. And she's a warlock, so Samantha says rolling up a warlock with 0 charisma is a choice given all their spellcasting scales off it. And yet, here she is. And she's beautiful. I love her so much. Anyways. So yeah, I think that was... But I think that also speaks to the way that I tend to roll, like, create characters, is that I like to leave the how good am I going to be at respective things to... I think most of the characters that I've created in some way, shape, or form started with, I don't know what I want this character to be. It might have been just like, I want to be a goblin, or I want to be a gnome, or whatever, and I'm just going to let fast character tell me the rest of those things. And I just go to fast character and let it randomize all the other bits for me, and then just pick the randomized bits that I think look like the most fun. That's how I ended up with eventually a goblin sorcerer. And I think that's how I ended up with a gnome warlock with 0 charisma, because I was just like, randomize! Good enough! Let's go! Rex says my wife's first character accidentally had really good perception. And steal. And was also obsessed with shiny things, and we would enter every room, and she would have to perceive shiny objects and to steal. There was nothing the DM could do to prevent her from stealing all the spoons in every room. Oh, stealth, yep. Mm-hmm. That is delightful. Okay, we have our little guy, our little ghosty. I will now also attempt to do little guy's little leggies. Again, keeping this piece reasonably straightforward, I hope. I think and I hope. Gonna try and make the legs the same length if I can, but you know, Pobity's nerfect. There, perfect, okay. She had a +7 modifier to stealing. Oh my god. Stealth, I know, stealth, but +7 to stealing is funnier. That is, that's impressive, honestly. Very impressive. But yes. Delightful. I'm kind of cheating a little bit, because normally I do all the outlines for these in black, but if I'm leaving a little bit of white between like their arms and stuff, so you can see that they're hugging. Makes me think of you know, I've never played Skyrim. I actually watched a video earlier today of someone who decided to attempt to play like the 4 supposedly best, highest rated ever games, none of which he had ever played before, and I'm like, I've never played any of those games either. It was like GoldenEye and Skyrim and the Ocarina of Time. And I'm like, yep, there is just a huge gap in my like video gaming knowledge from like a certain period of time to another certain period of time where I just haven't played anything. And Skyrim is in there. Okay. Do I want to give this a little bit of texture. Do I want to give this background just a little texture as opposed to just the kind of weird gradient that we have here? Probably don't want to overdo it on the texture. What list is ranking Skyrim as GOAT, says Rex? I don't know. It's some one of those like critical like review aggregators or something like that, I think. Like Rotten Tomatoes, but for games, I guess. I don't know. Anyways. I wasn't paying that much attention. Professor Nick Terra says, I am older than you, so I ran around excitedly trying to get a copy of the first Elder Scrolls game out of high school, so the whole series has nostalgia / the only series I've ever followed. Are you okay, don't let's get too granular about talking about our ages in chat, but are you sure? Wait. What was video gaming when I was coming out of secondary school? I'm actually not sure, because that's kind of in the wilderness period for me. That's kind of in the... Okay, so here's... Okay, I did mention my age. Alright, cool. The wilderness... There is, like, a long wilderness period of gaming for me, because, like, I grew up with computer and video game stuff in the house, like, from basically, like, toddlerhood. Like, Commodore VIC-20. And then from the Commodore VIC-20 to the SMS, which my favorite, hands down favorite. I love the music. Ah, so good. The little like the sound that it makes when you boot up the console lives rent free in my head. It's so good. Anyways, then we got a NES. Then we got a SNES. And then we had nothing. Until I started dating someone who had an Xbox 360. And became a gamer again. We've been married for over 10 years now. I also had a VIC-20, says Professor Nick Terrace. Hell yeah! After that, a Tandy 1000. Oh my god, my family had a Tandy! What the heck? Amazing! What are the odds? Amazing. I mean, potentially fairly good, because it was around the same era, but hell yeah. Oh my goodness. Amazing. There's a... Memory unlocked, says Professor. You're not wrong, Professor. You are not wrong. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I feel like I gamed less on that, though. But honestly, I don't know. It's at this point, it's a blur. There are many things that are a blur. But I do remember my dad, with the VIC-20, he would write code and make little games for the VIC-20. It was super cool. So cool. He would he made this one game, and the main character that this is, you know, listen, for anyone who's not familiar, this is like back in the 80s. We did not have character creation screens. So if I wanted to be a character in a game like that, we had to make that game. So there was a game where I was the main character. And by I was the main character, I mean I was literally about 2 pixels tall. But that 2 pixels tall was me. And I got to go on a little adventure. It was very fun and cute. It was probably about 10 minutes long. But yeah, that was a good. I think that was maybe my favorite video game ever, because it's special, and also very much a piece of like ephemeral media at this point, because that very much no longer exists. Anyways, there is way too much neutral tint in this brush now, so I'm gonna try and water it down a smidge. All right. Anywho, I want to try and do... There's this, like, texture on the walls in the background of this like mound area, so I kind of just want to bring in a little bit of that texture. Trying to keep it fairly simple and fairly sketchy at this point, just because I don't want to do too much. I don't want to give myself too much to do. Trying really hard. I say this with every 31-day art prompt challenge list thing. We're going to keep things a little simple this time. We're going to keep it sketchy. We're not going to, like, overblow any, like, backgrounds and stuff. And then I do it anyway. So, oops. Anyways, hey, Tals, welcome in. How are you doing? Lovely to see you. Hello, hello. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. How are you? Professor Nictera says that's very cool. This is the sound of accidentally putting a computer tape into an audio deck. Oh, I remember it well. That was weird. That was weird. I think also deliberately to see what it would do. That's what I did. And I was like, oh, this, I don't know what I expected. Rex says, Game Pass added a bunch of arcade-era Activision games yesterday. My dad is going on a well, that's exciting. I might need to go on a journey as well, Rex. That sounds amazing. Hell yeah, Talis is reporting it as one of the 4 people that TTC Hornet Tram was designed for. Yay! I knew that there was an extremely niche, tiny audience out there for that piece. For anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, it was the piece that I posted yesterday for Hollow Knight Art Month. Which specifically was this. The prompt word was tram. And so, here is Hornet riding the TTC. The next stop is Shaw Street. And that's it. That's the artwork. Anyways, thank you for letting me know that you understood the reference. I appreciate that. I knew that was going to be niche, but you know, sometimes I got to do the niche thing. Sometimes I just got to do the niche thing, you know? Sometimes you gotta. Okay. I'm kind of deviating from the stripes as they exist in game, but I think this looks cool, so I don't care. It doesn't matter. These can be stylized. I drew Hornet riding an actual public transit tram that exists in Toronto, so literally who cares? It was also subsequently pointed out to me, and I love this, that there is indeed also a Shaw on the Manchester Metro. And again, to my shame, I forgot about that because I did used to live in Manchester, believe it or not. As you can tell by my accent, I'm from the north. Yeah, this is kind of a fun effect. I'm into it. Boop, doot, 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 doot. There we go. Okay, we've got a weird background that kind of echoes what the crystallized mound looks like. So, you know what? I'll, like, that's good enough for me, I think. Gonna let this dry, and then we can take off the masking fluid and paint that in. So, in the meantime, what do I need to finish for this? I need to do some shading, I reckon. I did once live quite close to Shaw Street, so stop. Oh my god. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Shaw Street. I don't know why this is doing me such a giggle, but it just, the last time I was in Toronto, I noticed the Shaw Street stops, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna mentally bank this for the purpose of Hollow Knight art at some point. And then I did it! Yay! And here we are. Okay. Okay, just adding a little bit of... The thing about these bigger portraits is that I have a slightly more scope for adding slightly more detail in places, and that's kind of fun. So we can do a little more in the way of like shading. I know it's called a shade in the game technically, and not the ghosty, but to me it's the ghosty. So I did it for the ghost prompt. Damn it, Sha, says Tells. I wholeheartedly agree. Sha. Anyways, sorry. Okay. All right. Can I get a little bit of this right here? La, 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 la. Do. Okay. Keeping it relatively simple still, but you know. Okay. Alright. Okay. I say alright and okay, and then I keep futzing. Why am I like this? I don't know. If there's an opportunity to futz, I will probably take it. I should really do that less, but here we are. For this bit, I want to blot because I don't want it to be that dark. Blot, 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 blot. Yay! Sometimes you blot so much that you can't actually see what you painted on in the first place, and that's the mark of a very good artist, is understanding the art of subtlety. I jest lightly, that was a goof. Okay, wizard. Fine. Why is the hilt of the nail lighter than the rest? I think the paint just sat funny. Okay. Alright, okay. Okay and alright. Alright and okay. I think maybe I can start lining this, or can I work on the other? This is still a little bit wet, so I will do some lining on this piece. Yay! The mark of a good artist is they are covered in paint. Oh no, Samantha, I try really hard not to be. Uh-oh. Does this mean I'm a bad artist? I don't know. I had to go back and look at some old paintings earlier. And that definitely made me feel like a bad artist, so make of that what you will. Anyways, that's all. It's always kind of a weird experience going back and looking at like old. Does anyone go back and look at like their old work and be like, yeah, this is perfect, and there was nothing that I would want to change about it. Okay, Samantha has added an addendum here. She says, the mark of a good artist is they are covered in paint. Even, nay, especially if they do not work in the medium of paint. Oh yeah, absolutely. Are you a theater director? You should be absolutely covered head to toe in gouache. That's how we know that you are an excellent theater director. For sure, for sure. Oh, heavens to Betsy. Okie dokie. Do-do-do. Decided to add a little detail to the swordy sword because why not? I can, so I will. And if you look at it in your inventory in game, it changes depending on how many upgrades you've had. Have you visited the nailsmith and allowed him to make your sword good? I think the Nailsmith is probably one of my favorite NPCs in the game. He's lovely. He's just, he's just a master craftsman, and that's delightful. The coiled nail. Yeah, this is the coiled nail. Thank you, Samantha. It is indeed the coiled nail. How very cool. Yeah, Nailsmith, I've done a couple of artworks of the Nailsmith, specifically the Nailsmith, and I don't know, am I allowed to spoilers the game? I assume if you're here watching, you either don't mind spoilers for the game Hollow Knight, and or, like, you've played it, Master Craftsman Nailsmith and his boyfriend and or husband. Do we reckon that they might get married? I think they should. They clearly love each other very much. It's one of my favorite things about the game. Is when you visit them together and they're just like having a nice time. The Nailsmith is just being drawn like one of your French girls. That's my favorite, is when he's like being drawn by one of your French girls. It's so cute. Anyways. I'm just, here's the thing. Like, I love the lore of Hollow Knight. I love the story of Hollow Knight. I love the game Hollow Knight very dearly. But also, I'm just a sap, and I love. So, yeah. Anyways, I think this might actually be done. Wow, I made this real easy for myself. I could probably futz with it more, but I don't really want to futz with it more. Like, I'm fine. Like, this is fine. I'm fine with this. Okay. Some of the pieces for this month are more simple and straightforward than others, which is good because producing a new painting every single day does take it out of you. So I'm trying to be mindful of that as best as I can because, I don't know, I'm old and tired. So I'm going to set this to one side for now. This is tomorrow's. This is Ghost. And I actually really like the way that the gray paint is sitting. It's not perfectly uniform. There's kind of a translucency to it in places. Anyways, I got a BRB. We're about to run ads. I did not realize that there was an ad break coming. Shoot, sorry. It's ad break time, so I'm gonna BRB. But first, Tal says, I never know when to stop futzing. That is a permanent mood. It never goes away. You just gotta keep on keeping on, I guess. Or stop futzing. I don't know. Anyways, ads are about to run, so BRB, everybody. I'll be back in a minute. Hello. So apparently ads ran at some point, which is good. Though I do apologize for anyone who had to see ads. Tells us I got an ad. Hooray? Question mark. I mean, thank you for sticking around through the ad. I get like a penny when people watch ads. I do. I think we've talked about this before. There is this idea among people who aren't affiliates or partners on Twitch or have never streamed but like watch streams, that streamers are like avaricious about their ad monies, and that's why they run like the recommended ad schedule. And I just want you to know that no. Apart from like the top 0.1% of streamers, nobody's making money from ads. Like, I know I feel like it's gauche to talk about like finances and that kind of thing. But just for the record, like, the average amount of, like, money I make off of ads on stream is, like 15 cents a stream. It's not an impressive amount of money by any stretch. It takes months to hit the Twitch will give you your money now threshold. So, that's the thing. Anyways. A very shiny penny or a cool antique penny or a boring... It's a boring digital penny, Tals. It's not even any of those cool things. It's not like one of those pennies where you go to, like... If you go to, like, if you go to like an amusement park or whatever, and they'll take a penny and they'll like squish it and like stamp a cool picture onto it. It's nothing cool or fun like that. Anyways, Samantha says, not talking about finances being gauche is just a tactic used by the wealthy to keep us from rising up against the upper classes. 100% agree. In fact, a YouTuber that I watch sometimes made a video the other day about how much they don't make from ads on YouTube. And it's like, yeah, it's like, hey, I've got a couple 100,000 subscribers. You'd think that I'd be making some money off of that. No. It's not very much money. Oof. Heck. Okay. How do I want to do these, like, crystal formations here? I think I want to color them in a little bit more. Though, perchance, actually, I think I might save that for the end of the painting, the coloring in of the crystals and stuff. Or should I do those first? But if I do this first, I need to change my paint water, because my paint water is really murky with all of that, like, gray and blackish colors that I put into it now. Decisions. Yeah, what the heck. I will go change my paint water. I will do the bits that are pink, and then I will do the bits that are dark at the end. Anyways. But yes, it's why pretty much every full-time YouTuber has other revenue streams like sponsorships or Patreon, says Samantha. Oh, absolutely. There are a couple of YouTubers that I've seen who very rarely seem to do sponsored content, and also have, like, editors and producers that work on their channel, and I'm like, how are you affording this? Like, you have a travel budget, and your videos are and you don't have a Patreon, and your videos are, like, barely sponsored. How? Samantha says change your paint water. Well, guess you need to get rid of it somehow in the redeemed hydrate. I'm gonna drink my tea. I don't know why you want to poison me. I thought we were friends. Anyways, I'll be back in a second. And I have thoughts about creator finances, which I'll share in a moment. Okay. Have I studied any of this properly? No, but I have notions. And I want to outline some of these notions and see...
New limited edition blue raspberry fight milk. Makes you almost as cool as Hornet.
Oh my god. Mary, thank you very much for the limited edition blue raspberry fight milk. I'm gonna take a sip of my limited edition lemon lime fight milk, because I don't have blue raspberry at home right now. But lemon lime is pretty good too. Anyway, thank you very much for the fight milk. What the hell was I saying? I don't remember. Dang, tried to slap it in the empty spot. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. If I'd known, I would have moved the painting around to make it fit. But thank you very much. Yes. Okay, first of all, my paint water is nice and clean. So, I'm going to pick up some of this now dried onto the palette crystalline pink and purplish paint. And I'm going to color these crystals in some beautiful crystalline hues. What is this, like rose quartz? I don't know. Anyways. It's real pretty. But yeah, we were talking about, like, creator finances and that kind of thing, and how, I completely agree that, like, it being gauche to talk about money is how, like, it's how employers keep wages low and that kind of thing. If you find out that someone else is making more money than you for doing the same job, then, you're gonna go have a a serious talk with your boss about it, and then they're gonna have to pay you more, and they don't want to do that, so they want to encourage you not talking about those kinds of things. But on the other hand, when it comes to creator stuff, I feel like there was a poll that I saw go round on Tumblr a little while ago, and the question was, are you more likely to interact with a post that already has a lot of interactions? And most people said no. Most people said that doesn't matter to them, but I don't think that's true. I think that's a lie. I think a lot of people do have a sort of like, maybe not conscious, maybe implicit, but definitely existent bias towards, it is clear that other people like this, therefore I'm more likely to give it attention. Either that's because you don't want to feel singled out in, like, liking or interacting with something that doesn't have a lot of interactions, and then kind of there's attention on you for, like, interacting with it. You maybe don't want that. Or, like, you know, you are subconsciously swayed by, well, no one else seems to be liking this, so do I just have poor taste for thinking that it's good? You know? Again, I don't think these are necessarily things that people are, like, thinking to themselves out loud, but I think there's something to that happens in the background. If everyone else likes it, that there's a good chance that some of these people are arbiters of taste and goodness, and I can trust that this is probably okay because a lot of people have already vetted that it's good. Whereas if it's relatively untested, you know, see also when I get, like, a random video recommended into my YouTube feed and I see that it has, like, 9 views, and it's from a channel that I don't know, and it's a topic that I don't know a lot about, I'm less likely to click on that and give that video a chance, because what if it turns out that it's bad and I don't want to watch it, and then the algorithm now thinks that I like this and starts recommending me more of that, so I don't. So, I don't know. Anyways, Samantha says, I feel like I am less likely to interact with a thing that has more interactions because it feels more like shouting into a void then, but also thinks that more interactions are more likely to be fed to you by the algorithm. Yeah, the algorithm just kind of builds upon itself. Things that are already popular stay popular, and things that don't really get seen remain obscured. What's my point? I'm sure I had one. Oh yeah, I feel the way that you do, Samantha, when it comes to Twitch streams or, like, live streams in general. If it's like a very popular channel where there's likely to be, like, hundreds or even thousands of people in the chat at any given time, and chat is, like, busy and popping off and there's a lot going on, I don't chat in those streams. I tend not to watch those streams live. I tend to watch those streams as VODs. I'll still watch them, but I'll watch them as VODs. And that's because the you know, it's the experience of being in the chat of a stream where there's, like, 3,000 people watching, and chat is just, you know, just a constant stream of stuff, and it's not really a conversation that's being had with the streamer, is more like being in the audience of, like, a live show or concert or whatever. Whereas if a stream has, like, you know, I don't know, 25 viewers, 10 viewers, like, even, like, 200 viewers, it's more likely that it's going to be something of a back and forth, something of a conversation with the streamer, or even a conversation amongst yourselves in chat. You can't really do that when there's, like, 2,000 people there. And I don't go to gigs a lot with live audiences, because that kind of thing makes me socially anxious and feel weird. So I prefer watching those kinds of streams sort of after the fact as VODs. For that very reason. Anywho. Tal says, for sure, when it's something I come across because of the algorithm, I do use the view/like count as part of the do I watch decision. Absolutely, yeah. I will sometimes watch things that have, like, 12 views. I watched a video earlier today that I think the channel has about 100 subscribers, maybe, and the video had about, like, 27 views. It was posted, like, a day ago, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. It was a great video. It was a great, fun video. I enjoyed it. So, you know, sometimes you can ignore these things. Samantha says, how are you even supposed to build a parasocial relationship with a streamer when there are thousands of people in the chat? Exactly. Oh god, no, not parasociality. It scares me. Samantha says, I just straight up do not use the algorithm for YouTube. I interact with YouTube via my subscribe page only. That is so strong and so brave of you. I try to, but also I have found some quite good channels through it just wants me to watch this channel. And sometimes I really enjoy that. Like, I've been watching a bunch of videos about physics. Do I know anything about physics? No. I know bupkis about physics, but I'm enjoying watching videos about physics because the person who talks about physics is neat. And that just showed up in my recommends because that person made a really long video about Star Trek. Anyways, for anyone who's just joined, who's your favorite Star Trek character? I asked that earlier. Anyways, Cranky Martini is here. Hello, Cranky. How are you doing? Poor snail shamans. It's a rough life. Yeah, YouTube algo gets me down hard. It's rough. I mean, I'm on that 200 creep on YouTube right now, so I feel it. The algorithm does not like me. I think the algorithm punished me for making a video about spotted dick pudding because I said dick so many times and there was dick in the title of the video. But listen. It's the name of the pudding. The video goes into the reason why it's called that, by the way. But yeah, it means I have to say the word a lot, and I think YouTube didn't like that. Samantha says, I refuse to give the algorithm dopamine hits by clicking on the links it serves me, letting it know it did a good job. Honestly, respect. Yep, respect. Spot, best character, says Mira. Excellent choice. Wholeheartedly approve. Probably Data, also excellent choice. Wholeheartedly approve. Yep. What was I thinking? No, sweetheart.
Sure.
Honorable mention to Professor Keiko O'Brien's like ridiculously shiny wedding dress. I don't know what it's made of, but it's so shiny. It looks like that. It looks like some sort of opalescent cellophane. I don't know. Fashion gets weird in the future, is what I've learned from Star Trek. Anyways. The amount of looks that basically just amount to, like, public transit seat maquette pattern. I look forward to that future. I want more clothes that look like public transit seat maquette pattern. Anyways, I mean, I could just do that now. I think you can technically just buy, like, by the meter public transit seat maquette from, like, the London Transport Museum. If you just really want to make yourself a sofa that looks like you're sitting on the Central Line, you can do that. I don't know why you'd want to, because the Central Line's disgusting, but, like you can. Samantha says, Keiko wears future wedding dress, O'Brien just wears his uniform like a good union boy. Yup. I also feel like he seems like the kind of man who doesn't really have a fashion sense. I don't know, like, what would he pick to wear if he could just choose, like, an outfit that wasn't just his uniform? I don't know if he'd know. Honestly, probably his wife just picked something and is like, you should wear this, Miles. Miles! You'd look so nice in this, like, wool jumper. And he's like, okay, thank you, I love you. And then they're cute. Because I think they're cute. Anyways. I like the O'Briens, you know? I like an example of just, like, a solid relationship from a TV show franchise that is oftentimes really bad at that. Tal says, I've been rewatching DS9 recently. Oh, I want to do that so bad. I have such a hankering. And it's fun to see the non-Starfleet clothing. Yeah, it's one of the things I like about that show is that you see more of it, because obviously there's more civilians, there's more non-Starfleet, there's more people who aren't at work, there's more, like, other people from other planets who wear other outfits. Like, I think, did I mention earlier, or did I just say this to my husband, that I really like some of Major Kira's, like, off-duty, sort of Bajoran cottagecore looks. I think they're cute. 'Cause, yeah. Anyways. Like, I would wear those, you know? Anyway. That show is so fashion-oriented, they literally have a character who's a tailor. You love to see it. And I also love that guy. He's fun and very gay. Anyways, this crystal necklace looks very uncomfortable, but it's very stylish. Which is how you know that this is a lady who has priorities, and those priorities are gobba look good. And you do look good, little snail shaman. She's a Disney princess here. Because I feel like the terrifying crystal mice are like the closest I'm gonna be able to get to, like, you know, she's whistling along with a little bird or something. I'm gonna make the wings pink as well. They're not really, but I'm gonna make the wings pink because I can. Hey, Sunshine.
Do not open until Sunday.
I think is that a birthday gift?
Yeah.
Aww, you got a birthday gift. Got a birthday gift. I'm gonna weep with joy. My birthday's on Sunday, by the way, everybody. Just for your information, just in case you needed to plan. Just putting that out there. I'm kidding, but Tal says happy birthday. Thank you. Tal says also Garrick, a possible favorite character. He's one of my favorites. Absolutely, 100% one of my favorites. I just think he's neat. I just think he's neat. Anyways, hello, Dan. Welcome in. Hi, Sammy. I'm late, but happy almost birthday. You're not late. You are here exactly as you whatever the line is from Lord of the Rings. Hello. It's lovely to see you. Welcome on in. Hello. Happy almost birthday, says Mira. Thank you, friends. Thank you. I will be baking cake and hanging out at home, and I'm looking forward to it. I need to look up a picture of this snail shaman because I just want to make sure that there's not any fun details that I'm forgetting about her and her whole, like, look. Okay, here's just a PNG of her. She looks like that. Oh, she's so cute. I love her. Okay. I'm trying to keep things as simple as I can, because I need to go cook dinner soon, so I want to get this relatively done. But I think what I might do is spill a drop of water on the canvas. I'm going to ignore that. My moderator / is looking... Oh, what's up, babe? Yas, queen! Yas, queen! We're making rhubarb crumble tonight. That's what I was yas queening about. In case you're wondering. I'm yassing about rhubarb crumble, and I'm right. Anyways. Is he slaying? Oh, he is permanent slay. Permanent slay. My moderator / spouse. The slayest. And I love him. Okay. Gonna add some strategical shading onto the crystals so that they look less one-dimensional. Like so. I will do the same with the crystals that are kind of on the floor if I can. But yeah, are y'all slaying? I hope you're having a beautiful Thursday. If your Thursday's been good, and if your Thursday hasn't been good, I hope it improves. My Thursday's been fine. It's quite a heavy is not the right word, but intense morning. I had a lot to do earlier, and it was definitely a little bit So I'm glad that got done, basically. Okay. Alright, I think that's improved it. So now I have to do... I'm gonna do some little outliney gubbins of the little crystals. Just give them a smidge of definition, and then I will do all the bits that are black and gray. And then we will be done. Just a tittle touch of definition for these. They don't get, unlike so much of the game, things get outlined in like black, but the crystals don't, which kind of makes it harder to, in painted form, kind of have them stand out and look not like incomplete in comparison. But I am trying my best. Anyways, I think... Okay, that'll do those. And my brush is too dry, so I shall re-wet it. Anywho. I will be, gosh willing, actually streaming Hollow Knight tomorrow. I was going to stream it last Friday, but unfortunately I was really not feeling very well and I was not up to doing a stream. It was a bit of a ropey weekend for me, well-being wise, but I am feeling, apart from the fact that my back is absolutely heckin' killing me, I'm feeling much better. I should have taken a painkiller while I was on break, but what did I do? I think I just went and talked to my moderator / spouse, and then the break ended and I came back, so oops. Anyways. Let's go. I'm also okay with these being a little bit sort of sketchy in terms of the line weight. Like, that's fine. Again, this is a daily art prompt challenge. They don't all need to be super perfect. Like, the background of this looks a little bit goofy. I don't care. Obviously, I want to make my artwork look the best that I can, but also, not everything needs to be 100% perfect, and that's fine. Thank you for the posture check, Tals. I will check my posture. My posture is currently garbo, so let me correct that. Ow! Oh my god. My spine. My back has been acting up since, like, Monday. It does feel like it's getting better. I think I talked about this earlier on stream. It does feel like it's getting better, but it's getting better in that way that, like, whatever back muscle or muscles I twanged to end up in this, like, pain situation, because I still had to, like, stand and walk and sit at a desk and do all of the things, I ended up compensating to try and take, like, to try and ease off on using the muscles that hurt, which therefore puts strain on other muscles that don't necessarily usually get that much strain, and therefore those muscles are sore now because they've been sort of employed in ways that they're not normally. So yeah, that's fun. But I think I'm hopeful that it does seem to be getting better, so hopefully that means that I will be feeling a little bit more normal in the next few days. It's not like I've thrown my back out so bad that I can't, like, get up and move around. I have had a, like, bad back happen before where I just, like, get up one morning and it's like, oh no. I think I've got 9 left of this non-prescription back pain medication that you can't buy here in the UK, but you can in Canada. So when I visit Canada, I go get an expensive blister pack of Robax Platinum. And that stuff slays your back pain. I don't know why it's not available here, because it is so good. But it's not like so good in a way that, like, I don't know. I wouldn't like abuse it, you know what I mean? It's not like that kind of it's not like so good that you would want to abuse it. But then that's another thing that's just like a weird difference between Canada and the UK is that you can just buy like, you know, if you want to get ibuprofen here, you can get a blister pack of like maybe 24 tablets. Or is it like 16? I don't know. It's a small number of tablets that you can buy in like a single pack. And there's probably a limit on how many packs you can buy. You can go to Shoppers Drug Mart in Windsor, Ontario and buy yourself like a massive bottle of like 500 ibuprofens. And I can understand why they don't do that here. Because that does feel like a recipe for something going wrong and someone taking too many medicine at once and, you know, there may be bad outcomes to that. At best, having to go get your stomach pumped. Not fun. But I guess Canada has determined that it's not, that the instance of that is rare enough that it's easier to just be like, yeah, you can buy like a Costco pallet of ibuprofens. Don't worry about it. Anyways, all right. The snail shaman's looking a little bit wonky, but Tal says, hurt one thing and then compensate and hurt another thing. Yup, it's the best. Hope you're all recovered soon, says Tal. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. And I do feel like it's getting better, so hooray. Okay, we are nearly there. I want to use specifically the... I know I've got a ton of gray here, but I want to use specifically the purplish black for this because I feel like purplish black is the right color for it. It's not quite neutral tint gray. It's got a little bit more of its own bag, I guess. This snail shell is just kind of... I don't know. I've just kind of made it, like, lumpy. It's just lumpy. Oh, well. When I add sort of the line weight and details, I'll kind of refine it down and it'll look a little bit less goofy. Yes. Anyway, sorry I'm rambling, y'all. But also, thank you for hanging out. I'm looking forward to tonight's salad. I'm going to boil some potatoes. And I've got some fresh dill. I'm going to add some fresh dill to it. I think it's going to be delicious. And a ton of greens, which is the centerpiece of it. Can't believe I'm painting one of these crystal mice, which are absolutely... I can't remember what their actual name is in game, because I never call anything by its actual name, like game name. These gosh dang crystal mice are the bane of my existence. They're so annoying. So hecking annoying. I am not a fan of the crystal mice. Ugh. Ugh, just the worst. The worstest. As soon as I manage to... And some of them are just in like the most annoying platforming areas. Where it's like, okay, I want to be able to jump from this to this, but there's a crystal mouse over there, and if I get too close to it, it'll shoot a thing at me, and I don't think I'm going to be able to, like, get around it and land on the thing and not get hit by it. And I hate them. Anyways. You may have guessed that I have somewhat strong feelings about the annoying crystal mice. You'd be correct. I don't think they killed, because I did do a Steel Soul run. What did I die to on my first, because I did a Steel Soul run, but I died my first time around. And I don't think it was no, it wasn't the crystal mouse. It was, I went to the Soul Sanctum too early. And I tried to do the soul guy. What's his name? You know, the boss, the Soul Sanctum boss. I went to that fight too soon, and I should have cleared sort of other areas and gotten some other skills before doing that guy. And I died, and it was like it was one of those ones where like you take like 2 hits in like one go, And it was just, it was too fast. I think he teleported Dive Bomb Guy. Yeah, that's him. That's it, Tal. Thank you. Dive Bomb Guy. I died to Dive Bomb Guy. I think what happened was, like, I got hit by something, and then I, like, dashed forward, and he teleported into exactly where I was dashing forward when I was on my final health. I think I was trying to evade him, and he teleported to exactly where I was dashing, like, forwards, and I died. And I was like, well, that's the stupidest way to end a run. At least, like, my one solace is that I wasn't that far into the Steel Soul run at that point. I think I'd only put in, like, maybe an hour and a half, so it wasn't, you know, if I had died to, like, in the Steel Soul run to, like, something really far, like, later on in the, in the run, I would have felt a lot worse about it, I think. But I didn't. Honestly, still pretty proud. About the fact that I did that. I know, like, is it that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things? No, but do I feel good about it? Yeah, I do. I'm a professional gamer. Professional. I've never tried Steel Solstice Tiles. It was fun. I had a great time. I actually really enjoyed it. I would do that again. I just realized I missed a crucial bit of shading that I need to add in here, so I'm just gonna do that. La, 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 la. So I think that ear would be slightly darker because it's a little bit in shade, I think. Did I just darken that down too much, though? I feel like I maybe did. Ah, shoot, everything's falling off of my shelf. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Alright, fixed it. But yeah, do recommend giving Steel Soul a go. It is a different experience. Because there are, you know, you need to be more cautious about certain things than you normally would be. Or you do if you're me and you're like, you've been playing Hollow Knight for the last, like, 3 years and you're still kind of middling at it. Anyways, I'm looking up this little guy because I can't remember what its face looks like. And I can't remember what it's called. Okay, it looks like that. I have painted it slightly differently, and you know what? Who cares? First I'm going to paint in its little wings. There we go. I don't know why, they just look like little crystal mice to me. I know they're, like, flying, so they're obviously not mice, but, they feel like little crystal mice to me, so I always call them crystal mice. And this is the derpiest looking crystal mice you ever did see. This is the derpiest crystal mouse. Oh my god. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I love it. Okay. Good job, me. Gonna embed a little signature over here where it's visible. My signature is so inconsistent. It never quite looks exactly the same from one signing to another. It just, I forget how to do it, and I do it slightly wrong. And that's okay. Oop. Okay. This bit is darker, so I'm gonna darken it down a bit. I think the ears want to be a little darker as well. That'll do. I'm kind of into that, I think. Cool. Lizard. Great job. Okay. I think that's done. I think it's done. I think I can stop. I think I finished 2 paintings this stream? What the heck? I think I finished 2 paintings this stream. Hell yeah, I'm gonna go make salad. This is Mound. And that's Ghost. And I'm done. And I'm gonna go send you on a delightful raid to see a friend. And I'm gonna leave this here so you can look at it while I'm looking for someone to raid. I think I know who we're gonna raid because I think I saw a little notification that somebody cool's online right now. So let me go get you over in their direction, assuming that I'm correct. Are you streaming? Are you streaming? 1-800, are you streaming? Yeah, and they just started. Okay. Okay, that raid be started. So thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. I'm sending you in the direction of more Hollow Knight related stuff, so I hope you enjoy that. Okay, that raid be started. So thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. I'm sending you in the direction of... No, don't let's do that. No. Anyways. My computer's being a little bit janky, so hopefully it lets us raid correctly. Here's a generic raid message. Let me add some emotes. Hi, Espy. Bye, Espy. Where's my shoot, I can't see my emotes. Why have my emotes all disappeared? I don't know, just say generic raid message. Here's the generic raid message. I can't see my emotes for some reason. So feel free to append any cool emotes that you want, if you can. Otherwise, who cares? It's fine. We're raiding Kirsty. You probably know Kirsty. Kirsty made the Hollow Knight Art Month list, so it feels appropriate. And they're streaming right now, so let's go say hi to them. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me today. It's been very, very fun. I had a lovely time. You're all breathtaking. I'll be back tomorrow morning playing some Hollow Knight. In the meantime, good night and good luck.